What's up, guys? Happy New Year's. Today is January 6th. I cannot believe that it's 2018 already. I said 2018, 2019 already. But yeah, so today's video is going to be Best of Beauty 2018. Yes, I decided to hop on this train because I don't know. I just decided to because I never done it on my channel before. And you know what? I guess it's just something new to try out there. But I have decided to, for my first time, I think ever on my channel, to do a try-on version of this. So I'm going to be actually applying the products on my face as I show them to you guys. And also, excuse my hair in this video. I just decided to hold it back with a headband and not a ponytail. I think that's it. So let's get started. So my eyeshadow primer, I do my eyeshadow first, you guys, by the way. So the primer that I will be using is this Urban Decay Primer Potion in Original. This is my absolute favorite eyeshadow primer, and honestly it's also my only eyeshadow primer that I have. I tried the MAC Paint Pot like years ago and it was like sparkly. I think I had the wrong shade, but the one I had was like sparkly, excuse me. And it also like made my eyeshadow crease within like less than an hour of me having it on my eyelids. So yeah, so this is what I'm gonna use. So now I'm just going to let that dry on my eyelids just for a few minutes. So now, before I actually put my eyeshadow on, I'm going to give an honorable mention to the Tartelette in Bloom eyeshadow palette, because this is the eyeshadow palette that I've been using since October, I think. I don't know why. I think a lot of times it's just like really quick and easy, and when I look at it, I know what eyeshadow look I'm going to do. I'm not going to use this palette for my eyes though, but I did want to give a honorable mention to this one. So now the eyeshadow palette that I will be using today is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, her original one. Up until about October, to when I went back to using my Tarte palette, I was constantly using this palette, like constantly. And you will see once I open it what I mean, because it's gross when I open it. But yeah, so I've been using this palette so much this year. So this is what the palette looks like, those colors. For some reason I feel like these colors really pop on the camera more than they do in real life. But these are the colors in the palette. Sorry for this really weird angle, but the colors I will be using today, or for right now really quick, is this one. Can you guys even see? This color and this color. I'm going to mix this one and this one together. And the brush that I will be using is the Morphe M433 brush. These brushes are not going to count in this video, by the way, because I don't have a ton of brushes to compare to each other. So yeah, just to let you guys know, these brushes are not going to be counted in this video. But I'm going to take those two shades that I just showed you guys, and I will be putting them in my crease. So now I will be taking this color and this color, mixing these two together and putting them just right on top of the shades that I just put in my crease. And I'm using the same M433 brush. So now I will be using this, right? Yeah, this shade right smack dab in the middle. And I will be putting that on the outer V of my eyelid. Is that what it's called? I think so. I will be using the Morphe M506 brush to do this. So lastly, I will be using this shade that I'm pointing to, and I am going to put that all over my lid. I'm going to wet my brush with the Milani Make It Last setting spray. You can also just use water to do this, because that's what I did. I used water for the longest time. And then, and then I had the e.l.f. makeup setting spray and I used that. And now I have this. I'm using the Morphe M124 brush to pack this on the lid. So now I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and wipe the fallout under my eyes. And I use the Neutrogena Night Calming Makeup Remover Wipes. I love these things. So now we are finished with the eyes, just as of right now. I'm gonna give you guys a little close-up as to what they look like. I don't know if it helps better if I close my eyes and raise my eyebrows, or if I just look down. I'm not sure, so I just did it both ways. So now I'm gonna move on to my face, and I wanna give another honorable mention to the Benefit the Professional Primer. I absolutely loved this primer until I found out that my skin was getting really dry, and whenever I used this brought out like the dry like flakes and stuff on my face, and my foundation didn't look good at all. And yeah, so but this is a good primer, I will say, but if you do have like dry flakes on your face and stuff, to me at least, this is not a good primer for that. The primer that I will be using today is the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer. This is like $6 or $3. I don't exactly remember, but it's still pretty cheap, and it really works for me. But I do notice that because it's so like hydrating and like silicone-y, I guess, and like oily in a way, that I do have to leave this sitting on my face for about 5 minutes before I put my foundation on, because of the fact that it's so like slippery and oily. That's like the only drawback with this. Like if you're in a hurry, this would not be a good primer to use, because for me at least, I do have to wait because it's so like slippery. So it's been about 5 minutes, so I'm gonna give an honorable mention to a foundation, and this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. It's a Sephora sample, that's why it's not in the actual Urban Decay bottle, but I got this in November of 2018, so I definitely didn't use it all of 2018, but I've used it enough. And honestly, this is like my new favorite foundation. It's weird because like I feel like this one, the shade is like very pale on me, where my foundation I'm actually going to use, which I'll mention in a minute, is very, not dark, but darker than this one. So it's really weird. But yeah, I love this foundation so much. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about it. So my actual foundation that I will be using is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I love this foundation. When I was using my professional primer, when my skin was really dry and like had flakes all over, this foundation did not look good, so I thought it was the foundation at first. I was like, I don't like this foundation, and I paid 40 bucks for it. So then that's why I went on to the Urban Decay one, but that one was kind of the same, even though I still loved it. And then I realized that my skin and the primer that I was using were not mixing very well, so that's why I changed it to the e.l.f. primer. And I also changed the way that I put the foundation on my face. I will also be applying the foundation with this beauty blender. I tried to apply foundation one day with my Morphe brush that I had. It just didn't look good. It had like my face had brush strokes on it from the brush, and it just, I don't know, it didn't look good. So I don't know if I was doing it wrong, or if I'm just gonna have to stick with the beauty blender, which is perfectly fine. But yeah, so I did try to put foundation on with a brush, and it just didn't work out. So there's my foundation when I'm done blending it in. I don't do a lot of layers to cover up like my acne because I feel like I don't need to cover up my acne unless I don't like it, honestly. But I think my acne's been really tame recently. It's just like little pimples here and there. So there's nothing really big that's popped up recently. So that's why I only did one layer on my whole face. Now to set the foundation, I'm going to use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. And I actually just got a new one because my other one, the cap had a crack in it because I dropped it. And then also like I hit the pan too on it. So I just decided to buy a new one. And the brush that I will be using is just this Real Techniques powder brush. So this year I have decided to, I guess I should say last year, decided to try to get myself into concealer, and I, instead of being a normal person and going out and buying the Maybelline Age Rewind, I decided to be extra and I got the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I absolutely love this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a professional like makeup artist or anything, so I don't really know what concealer does for you. Under the eyes, all I know when I use concealer before, all I know is that to cover up acne and stuff, which like I said minutes before, I don't have big acne pimples or anything. But I use this under the eyes, and again, other than covering up dark circles, I don't really know what this does for me, but I really like it, and this is also the only concealer that I own right now. And then to set the concealer, I am using the Coty Airspun, what is this? Loose Face Powder, and I learned this from Tati Westbrook on her channel. She loves this loose powder, and again, this is the only loose powder that I have in my collection. So yeah, I was gonna show you guys this when I was done putting my concealer on, but I like to open it before I put my concealer on because it's a hassle for me to open it without spilling it. So yeah, I just decided to show you guys it right now. So I will now be putting on the concealer. And I will be blending it out with my beauty blender. So now I will be dipping into my loose powder, just with the same beauty blender, and packing it under the eyes. I will be baking today. So I just let this sit on my face for 5 minutes, and now I'm going to wipe it off with the Real Techniques setting brush. This is what that looks like. I'm just gonna wipe away the powder under my eyes. So now for mascara, I want to give another honorable mention to the It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. This is a mini size, by the way. It's definitely bigger than this. Because I got this either at Sephora or Ulta in like a gift or something. And I didn't try it till like December, I think. And I love this mascara. It lengthens your lashes like no other. The only thing with it is that for me, I love to have mascara on, but oh my goodness. But I also love to have people see my eyeshadow looks. And with this, I would say I would wear this on a day where I'm not going to be doing an eyeshadow look. And if I am, it's just going to be super simple and stuff. So yeah, it lengthens your lashes like no other, which is amazing for me because I like my lashes long, but I also like people to see my eyeshadow looks. So I would definitely wear this on a day where I'm not wearing any eyeshadow or I'm just doing like a small little look. Now for the mascara I am going to be using is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I have definitely talked about this many times here on my channel. This is my absolute favorite mascara. I'm not lying, this one is probably my 5th tube, and I also have another backup in my drawer. So that's how much I love it, and yeah, this is the one I will be using today. So that is what my lashes look like. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. So for my bronzer this year, it is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. My video is probably like the 500th video that has mentioned this bronzer, but I've never really been into bronzers, and I think one of my friends or something got me like a bronzer palette that had like bronzers and blushes and highlights and stuff, but the only thing that I liked in there was like one bronzer, and it wasn't really showing up on my skin also. So I decided to go and buy this, and this is also my only bronzer, but I absolutely love this bronzer. It is in the shade Light Bronze, or Light Bronzer, sorry. But yeah, I love this bronzer so much. And it smells so good, by the way. The brush I will be using is the Morphe R13 brush. So now the highlighter I will be using is the Becca Cosmetics highlighter in, of course, Champagne Pop. And this is like a mini version because I wanted to try it out. And I'm pretty sure the bigger version is like $30 or something like that. So I just decided to use this mini one up first before I go and buy the bigger one. The brush I will be using is the Morphe M510, 510, however you want to say that. So now for lipsticks, I only have two lipsticks, and one is an honorable mention, and the other one is I'm actually going to be using it on my lips. So the honorable mention one is this Too Faced Melted Matte lipstick, or liquid lipstick I should say, in Sellout, and I absolutely love this lipstick. It's my favorite color. It's like red, but not like actually red, if that makes sense. But yeah, I absolutely love this one. So now for the actual lipstick I'm going to be using, this is also the Too Faced Melted Matte lipstick in, this one is in Cool Girl, and I don't know, I just love this lipstick. And last but definitely not least is the setting spray, and this is the Milani Make It Last setting spray. I heard Kathleen Knights talk about this, and she talked so highly about this in so many of her videos, so I decided to buy it. And yeah, I will let you guys know that I do spray this differently. I spray it in the air and then walk through it, because my arms are not long enough and my fingers are not strong enough for me to push it down and spray it all over my face. So I'm gonna do the spray and walk through version. So this is the end of my look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was definitely different than anything I have ever done before. Just because, you know, I wanted to try it. This is not, as you probably noticed throughout the video, this is not a drugstore only or a high-end only, because I don't have that many products in my collection right now. Yeah, this was just Best of Beauty Altogether 2018. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below, and click that bell for notifications whenever I upload videos. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!